Right. So they took the same boxed wine, like that bullshit, like Franzia, whatever the fuck, like, like the refrigerated box wine that comes in a bladder. So they took that wine and they poured it into 2 bottles. One bottle, they put this fancy chateau blah blah label on it. I know I try to get too fancy. So they put a fancy like chateau whatever label on it.
Okay.
The other one they put like a very basic looking, like almost like a, I don't know, like a 7-Eleven.
Something simple,
yeah, colorful, like just cheap looking wine.
Mm-hmm.
So they started with the cheap wine, and they took a group of people. I don't remember how many it was, but and they recorded this. So like you see their actual reaction. So they took this like cheap wine and they fed it to people, and obviously they sat the bottle down. They're like, hey, we want you to try this wine. Give us your honest opinion. And everybody was like, oh, it's really bitter. Oh, it's too sweet. Oh, it's just complaints.
It was like negative.
It was always negative.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this tastes like a cheap wine. Then they brought out the Chateau blah, blah, blah wine, right? And the same people sat them down with the Chateau whatever, and they poured each one of these people a glass of wine. Mm-hmm. These same exact people who just seconds ago for the same exact wine said it was disgusting were all of a sudden like, oh, this is great. Oh, this has so much depth and flavor. And the one guy's like,
did they know the price of it?
Well, no, they didn't know the price, but it was just a perception of
okay.
What, it's like the labels basically were kind of like hinting that, hey, this might be a cheaper wine or this might be a more expensive
wine.
So
visually they were
visually they had a price reference, right?
Gotcha.
One of the guys went as far as to be like, this might be the best wine I've ever had in my life. Right? So it was just their perception of luxury tricked their brains into thinking this wine was tasting better or worse
than what they previously tested, which was exactly the same thing.
Literally the exact same thing. So